News in 5.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
This is World News in 5 here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. The United States White House assures that the government is working to get the trapped American doctors out of the war-torn Gaza Strip. Speaking to reporters in Washington, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says they were closely monitoring the situation of the said American citizens and that the Biden administration was engaging directly with the Israeli government on the matter. She added that efforts to get them out are continuing regardless of the scenarios in the area. Early this week, the U.S. State Department confirmed an initial report that a group of American doctors were unable to leave the Palestinian enclave following Israel's blockade on the border crossing. According to the U.S.-based nonprofit group Palestinian American Medical Association, its team composed of 19 healthcare professionals had been denied exit from Gaza after a 14-day mission at a hospital in Khan Yunis. Despite calls from the international community to halt the military operations in Gaza due to risks faced by civilians, Israel in recent weeks has intensified its operation in the area in a bid to defeat the Hamas militants and rescue the remaining hostages held by the group since October.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
In our news, Slovak Deputy Prime Minister Thomas Taraba says Prime Minister Robert Fico is now in stable condition after sustaining gunshot wounds in an assassination attempt on Wednesday. In an interview with the British broadcasting company BBC, Taraba says Fico sustained 5 gunshot wounds, including a bullet that went through the Prime Minister's stomach. Taraba, who is also the country's environment minister, says the surgery on the Prime Minister went well and is now out from a life-threatening condition. The 59-year-old leftist prime minister was shot by a man as he approached the crowd of people waiting outside a government building to greet him. The 71-year-old gunman was immediately apprehended by the police. The incident shocked the small Central European nation, which has seen rare political violence in decades. The incident also drew international condemnation. Interior Minister Matus Tutaj Estok says the assassination attempt was politically motivated, linking it to the recent presidential election in which Fico's ally Peter Pellegrini won.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
For Philippine Embassy and Consular news, the Philippines and the United Arab Emirates or UAE recently concluded the initial round of negotiations for the PH-UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement or CEPA. According to the Philippine Embassy in UAE, Trade Undersecretary Alan Gepti led Manila's negotiation team, while the UAE side was led by Juma Al-Kait, Assistant Secretary for International Trade Affairs Sector of the Ministry of Economy. During the first negotiation round, the discussion tackled trade in goods, which aims to attain the highest degree of tariff liberalization for the Philippine products of interest while safeguarding highly sensitive products. The rules of origin aiming to secure liberal rules of origin for the Philippine products of interest to ease its exportation in the UAE, the customs procedures and trade facilitation, which aims to achieve more facilitative, transparent, and predictable procedures for conducting trade, and the sanitary and phytosanitary measures, which aims to establish a clear mechanism to address trade-related issues and time-bound consultation to respond to and resolve SPS issues. The two sides also discussed the technical barriers to trade, which aim to ensure consistency with international standards and ensure that new measures are subject to adequate consultations, and investments, which aim to ensure the protection of the Philippine businesses in the UAE and attract more investments from the Arab country through promotion and facilitation. CEPA, a bilateral Free Trade Agreement, or FTA, is envisioned to expand the flow of exports, goods, and services to the Middle Eastern nation, generate more investments from UAE, and create more opportunities for professionals and service providers. Prior to the first negotiation discussion on the CEPA, the Philippines and the UAE signed in December 2023 the Terms of Reference, or TOR, of the agreement, marking the initial step for the proposed bilateral free trade agreement between the two countries. Given the large number of Filipino professionals and businesses in the UAE, CEPA is a most important FTA which the Philippine negotiations team aims to conclude within the year as the Philippines and UAE celebrate their 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
You just heard World News in 5 here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. This is Peñano. Good day.
World News in 5.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.